Let's think big for a second. A new wave of baseball business. The short-term, high-money deal is one we have championed on this program for a long time. And the Dodgers and Trevor Bauer just did a deal that might be the new method of operation for the modern GM and superstar player. Let's get into this now. Years ago, we did a comprehensive study of big money free agent contracts. We found that half of them were deals that teams would later regret. That's a very high percentage, given that the one thing you're supposed to be getting on the free agent market is certainty. From Reggie Jackson to Bobby Bonilla to Albert Pujols, you're buying a known, proven quantity, you think. Yet, half of those deals were deals teams would later wish they had never done. But here's another interesting thing we found. It was never just the money that teams regretted. The real cost of a bad free agent signing is the opportunity cost, which is the lost benefit of other alternatives. You have an aging player eating up a big percentage of your budget. Maybe you have a kid in the minors you want to promote, or a good mid-level free agent that you believe in. You can't do it because you have that aging star sitting there taking up that space. You then resent the player, and the player feels it, despite the fact that when he was a superstar, he wasn't getting paid much of anything. It's a bad part of the whole system. Unless you pay top dollar right then and there for present performance. Let's take the most likely scenario for Trevor Bauer, where Bauer plays 2 years of the contract and then, sizing up a one-year, $17 million deal, opts out. So let's call that a 2-year deal for $85 million. That's an AAV, average annual value, of $42.5 million. Short term, but serious money. The Dodgers are paying for Bauer's age 30 and 31 seasons, just at a time where he has clearly figured something out. So let's compare Bauer to last year's big free agent, Garrett Cole. Now, it's tricky with the short season in the mix, but here are each pitcher's previous 5 years as they hit the market. Both were the same age, about to hit their age 30 season. Cole was the better pitcher, a 1.34 ERA plus to Bauer's 1.25. Strikeout rate is very close. Cole has the better walk rate. If you just do the last 2 seasons, though, it's also in Cole's favor. If you do 3 years, it actually swings to Bauer. But they are comparable. There's a lot of ways of looking at it. Cole has the better career, but they're not that far apart. And now take a look at this. You tell me which deal is better for the team. 2 years at about $42 million, or 9 years at $36 million per. Bauer will likely be retired when the Yankees are still paying Garrett Cole. Now, if Cole ends up like Steve Carlton or John Smoltz, well, then it's well worth it. But very few pitchers have a great late 30s. This isn't the first time the Dodgers have gone this route. Think about this. Would you want 13 years at $25 million a year, or 4 years at $45 a year, with a chance later to earn more? That was the question for the Dodgers offer and Bryce Harper 2 years ago. So Harper went with the long-term dollars. He wanted 13 years, and ultimately that might win the day. He'll be making $22 million in his age 38 season. That's a nice feeling. But for this thought exercise, let's ignore the 2020 prorated salaries and go with what the original contract was. At this point in his life, Bryce Harper would have made $56 million from the Phillies. He would have made $90 million from the Dodgers. Through the first 4 years, Harper should have made $108 million from the Phillies as opposed to $180 million from the Dodgers. And by the way, money can make money. That's what they tell me. Now, could Bryce Harper get back on the free agent market, entering his age 30 season, hypothetically getting that George Springer-type contract, 6 for $150? That's what he would need to equal the Phillies' deal. Seems feasible. But at the end of this contract, the Phillies will likely regret the opportunity cost of Bryce Harper, and they'll resent him. And then Harper will resent the Phillies resenting him. I like max money for present performance for the team and the player.